Good morning. Today we are here to see a small DT video about materials, right? So we are studying a course called Material Science and Metallurgy. So we use lot of materials to build any component. So do you know what is this? A robot? Robotic. What is the purpose of robotic arm? Any idea? You can tell anything, whatever you want. Purpose of robotic arm is to lift some materials to replace human hand. For example, you are working in a uranium environment or radioactive environment. So what is radioactive environment? Any idea? Nuclear environment, it is hazardous or not? It is hazardous. Okay. In that area, if you start working with a normal human arm, it will get radioactive rays will affect the hands, and it is not advisable to go with the material, go with the human intervention in nuclear reactors. That's why everything is automated, right? So this particular robotic arm, it is the purpose of robotic arm is to lift something, pick and place, and work in a chemical environment, nuclear radiations, everything, right? So coming to the building of this robotic arm, we are going to select some particular material. Okay. So in materials we have so many properties. Can you tell some properties? Material properties like elasticity, strength, thickness, and toughness, hardness, everything. So all these mechanical properties are studied and then taken into account to build a robotic arm. Okay. For example, hardness. If you take hardness, so have you ever did an experiment in your classroom, like taking a chalk piece and rubbing it with the compass? What will happen? The chalk piece will get powdered, right? Because the hardness of the chalk piece is less than the hardness of the compass. So in that way, we have to select materials based on the property, right? So one more robotic arm is here. So which is having links and joints. So you are studying theory of machines. So in that you have mechanisms, four-bar mechanism, linked mechanism. So all these things will be taken care of by the mechanisms, but still material selection has different context. Whenever you have to go for a material, so you need to understand what property the material is going to serve, or what the requirement for the particular application. Right? So it has to be selected. So we can take several examples. Okay. So have you seen a boat? Okay. So it is in the environment of salty environment, right? C is a salt, sodium chloride. So it will start corrosion. Do you know what is corrosion? Rust, making a component rust. So basically, what is rust? Rust is an oxide formation. For example, if you have iron, when the rust comes, it becomes iron oxide. Okay. So in that corroding environment, when you select a hull material for hull for the boat, that is the shape which is called as hull. So we need to understand that it should address the property of corrosion. Okay. So when you go for aircraft, so when you select some materials, you have to take care of, when you design an aircraft, what is the first thing you have to think about? Yes, less weight, very good, less weight. Then material should be tough, strong, because we are going to operate in air. Okay. So and it is also having moisture. So you have to consider about moisture, and these are all the properties. That duralumin is one of the material which is used in the aircraft building. Okay. So likewise, if you take a car, okay, we are using a car for transport, passenger transport, goods transport, everything. So in that we have, for good transport, it should address there is no deformation when more load is taken. So likewise, you have to choose the materials. One is mild steel, cast iron. These are all the materials which is there to address this particular application, right? So material science knowledge is very important when you go for choosing a material before you go for design. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.